All right, folks, we are back. Welcome back to the grand finals. We got Zest versus Bunny. I want to make it perfectly clear. There's no seeding. There's no advantage. Like, these guys are playing a best of 3 now just for $50 as a little bit of an extra thank you. Give us some extra entertainment. Why the hell not? But they're... Oh, Zest wasn't in the player slot. But they're both qualified through. They're both going to be back on the 30th, which would be nice.
Yes. It'll be good. It'll be gravy. They'll be joining Scarlet and...
Innovation.
Oh my god. Innovation. Yes. Of course. How could I forget?
Oh my god. Someone just said this in chat and I can't unsee it now. Do you watch H3H3 at all?
I've seen a little bit, yeah.
You totally look like Ela.
Dude, I've been told that before. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, first off, she's a fucking awesome person, so feel great about it. But, like,
is.
it is kind of like, well, I never would have put that together unless someone pointed it out. And now it's like, can't unsee it.
Yeah, my best friend told me that, and I went and watched, and I was like, oh my god, I totally do. I don't
know.
Like,
is that my long-lost older sister?
No, it weirds me out when someone looks like me. I feel like I have to destroy them or something because there can only be one.
Oh, you don't want to be caught in the situation, gun pointed at you. Which one's the real Zeph?
Yeah.
It's okay. Stressful. Everyone tells me I look like Dyrus, and I just die a little bit inside every time. I got nothing against Dyrus, but it's just like I don't look like Dyrus in my opinion.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Yeah.
This is shocking to me. Okay. More on that, I guess, later. But guys, we're in game number 1 of the finals, the grand end to this tournament. Thank you for watching. Still making Korea great. In the top left, we got the red Terran from Dust Gaming. It's Bunny.
And in the bottom right, here's the blue Protoss. It's Zest.
And people are asking who Bunny is because I think they want to know who to put their Partoof bets on. This is not the Danish Bunny. It's not the foreign Team Liquid Bunny. This is just ex-CJ Entis Bunny.
Yes, just ex.
Well, I mean, I say just because, like, in fairness, there's like nobody's really had this issue before. Bunny and then Hero and Hero, and that's it, right? No one else has really shared names. What was kind of interesting was someone sent me a screenshot where someone had asked Bunny, because for those who don't know, Bunny's actually been streaming a little bit, and someone had asked him in his chat, like, do you know about the foreigner Bunny? And he's like, yeah. And it's like, I can't remember. He asked him a question that was kind of basically like, what do you think of the name? And he's like, I want to kill him. It's my name, or something like that. So they're like, BaseTradeTV, you should set up a show match. And I think like the time's kind of passed since where we would have, but I really for a long time wanted to do a Team Liquid Hero and Team Liquid Bunny versus CJ Hero, CJ Bunny type match.
Yeah. It'd be cool to do like Bunny vs Bunny, but it would be hell to cast, so no thank you.
I think the time zones would make it impossible, frankly, because
yeah, true.
European Bunny's actually pretty busy with like work and stuff in real life, and then time zone around that just makes it way too much of a headache to set up.
Yeah.
But it would be fun, for certain. By the way, big thank you to All Hail 42! All Hail 42! For that new sub.
Ew. Not much to know just yet. Still getting heated up in this match. Got that first adept coming out in just a moment for Zest, with which he can poke, clean up that pesky Reaper, if he's lucky. And Bunny... Is he going to do the same thing? Is he going to open with a mine drop or a double drop?
I would hope so. It's a good way to scout your opponent, but I love this in chat, by the way. Highlander explaining your situation with your name. There can only be one. Pretty much nails it, I think. Or not your name, your looks, excuse me.
What? I'm so confused.
When you're like, I feel the need to just destroy that other person, right?
Right.
Have you ever seen Highlander?
No, I haven't.
Whoa! Okay, this explains a lot. Doesn't know who Dyrus is? Hasn't seen Highlander?
I like super live under a rock. Like,
you live on a rock. It's called Australia. You don't live under it.
It's an island that has a rock on it.
That's true, actually. That really big red one or whatever.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know landmarks a little bit, kind of. But yeah, oh man, Highlander's like a classic. That's actually a little surprising to me. Like there's some like new movies you haven't seen. Like I get that. Highlander's just one of those old ones that I feel like everybody has seen. So just a little bit surprised.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of those. I get that a lot actually. Movies are hard to sit still for, but anyway, a Reaper has snuck back into Zest's main. It's trying to get a probe kill or two. Don't know if it'll be that lucky. No, he gets taken out, but he does see the Robo. He sees the Twilight as well.
Well, he saw the chrono on the Twilight, which I think is really important. And well, maybe you're doing some guesswork, like is it Blink or is it Resonating Glaives? Either way equates to some damage you're gonna have to worry about. So Bunny moves out, and I'm gonna say this is a bit of an odd move out because this is Marines trailing that medevac. Bunny's not gonna be scouting with this. He's gonna drop off the mines and then try and use that to heal the Marines. Although the Marines, I think, saw the observer, and fall back to pick it off. Very nice snipe, very nice pick off.
Ooh, gotta be careful with that medevac. These overcharges are on point from Zest, so he's making sure he doesn't take any unnecessary damage early on here. They're otherwise macroing as usual. Bunny taking a third base here, knocking down the rocks to make sure that's safe and sound, and starting to get his own production up and running, getting those extra couple of racks, bringing out a siege tank or two to beef up his army in the meantime while it starts to get into high numbers.
I actually like this a lot. The siege tank's going to do well against stalkers, and it was, of course, stalkers. Widow Mines managed to get into the main. Zest does pull, and this time he's not going to have the chaos to deal with, as they are quickly picked off, or microed against. I got to give some shout-outs, though, for these resubs. You got Nightshade coming in. Thanks again for that sub, buddy. Then brand new sub coming out of GT, Justin Tse. Justin Tse.
Liberator swinging around this third base. I gotta say, either Bunny or Ryung has had a lot of luck with Liberators getting too much done.
Well, it got 4 probe kills. It obviously didn't zone it out. Oh no, we just missed it. If you guys wonder what just happened, the Widow Mines weren't dealt with. 18 probes got picked off, and Zest said, "Screw it, I'm done." I looked away because I assumed that was going to be cleaned up because that was such an easy cleanup too.
You know what? I did too. I was like, yeah, this mines did a thing, and I was like, yeah, it's. I mean, he can recover. The Liberators are still swimming around. Oh wait, it just kills everything. So.
Well, that's a great start for Bunny. I'll tell you that much. By the way, gotta give some love to Dares. He's taken off for the night a little bit early. He's he was up all night rather than sleeping and then waking up early for this. He's our admin who makes sure that the brackets run and players are taken care of. So thank you very much to Dares. I hope if you're hearing this, man, you're getting some sleep. Have a good night, dude, and feel better. Zest just messaged me that he wants Newkirk Precinct, but he spelled it the weirdest way.
How do you spell it?
Newkirk, like
Newkirk.
Like you're kind of quirky there, Zeph. Like, you know, Newkirk Precinct.
That's a fair way of spelling it.
I mean, I understood what it was, so I guess that's all that matters. But okay, let's get everyone invited in. Get this show on the road.
Man, I feel bad for that. How that game ended. It was like such a distracting conversation. It just like.
I didn't think it would end like that. I really, truly. We've seen like a couple of games that go that way, but usually not.
Because it's usually so sort of like that happens and then it's swept under the rug, and it's like, okay, let's pretend that that wasn't a thing because the players already cleaned it up and stuff.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I just linked you something. I'm gonna screen region this for the stream to see. God damn it! Thank you to Podum Stom. I'm just gonna go ahead and block you on Twitter now forever. Let's see, we're waiting on Crank. I think everyone's in here. Yeah, we'll just get going. All right, game number 2, Newkirk Precinct. And of course, if Bunny can win this, then it's $50. But again, like, I think I explained it properly to Zest. Hopefully he understands. Like, he is qualified. Like, even if he loses this, he's still coming back to that main event.
Yeah, he's just playing for the money.
Yeah.
For that sweet cash.
Speaking of sweet cash, thank you, Hard Revenge, for the 100-bit cheer.
Woo!
But okay, game number 2, spawning here on the bottom right side, picking up a very quick, very nice victory in game number 1. It's going to be the blue Terran player, Dust's Bunny.
Well spotted.
But it's also bottom left because I said bottom right, and I meant bottom left.
I didn't even notice. Bottom right. This is Zest.
Okay. Again, like, for me, that was such a... I couldn't believe it happened situation, and I don't think Zest could either. The GG tap out was certainly a frustrating one, but at the same time, I like a little bit that he cut his losses rather than be tilted, be frustrated, and play the rest of that game out for like 10 more minutes, only to still eventually lose. So this brings him into game 2 with a lot, I think, better mental state of being. I'm not saying even that Zest may have been completely unfazed by this, just a very calculated GG. But still, either way, it's better to cut your losses and just get going to the next game.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of go like, oh man, that just happened. Well, time to move on, kind of thing, because it isn't an easy thing to fix. It happens from time to time. You know, you just something messes up, and you're just like, you know what? Let's just get on with it because it's not worth thinking about right now. So hopefully this game does not end so abruptly. We do not have any pesky Widow Mines untouched, and he can get a bit of a longer game out of these guys because it could actually be our last game for the night.
Yeah. I mean, whether it is or isn't, we've had some pretty good games today, and I think the best part, like, yesterday we got to cast a lot of players. Today we got to cast less players, less games, but we got more game 3s, and I think we got a lot closer series. This qualifier for me was, like, personally, I actually enjoyed this one a lot.
Yeah. I don't think we've had, like, a single series that was like, oh, that was super lame or anything, so I definitely had fun.
Well, that last game was, I'll tell you that much.
Well, yeah, the last game was kind of like, okay, but that's really the only one that stands out. I can't think of anything else that sort of ended super quick. I think it was like maybe one all-in from Scarlet yesterday against Stats, was it? Like the Ling one that just sort of suddenly went like, well, that didn't work, GG kind of thing, but everything else has been pretty darn entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing, too, is I feel a little bit spoiled, of course. We got great Koreans. We know this is like a fact, but I gotta tell you, like, what I'm loving most is just generally speaking, watching these games, watching the foreigner games, they're all looking a lot more similar nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a pretty big, very obvious skill gap before. I can't wait. Like, going back to that big tournament we're trying to throw, for those who didn't read, like, what the details were, we specifically want to aim our mega tournament to focus on foreigners versus Koreans. Like, equal numbers of foreigners versus equal numbers of Koreans type thing.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of 2000, like, with how far everyone came in 2016, I think 2017 is going to make an absolutely fantastic year for a tournament.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I want my WCS back as well, because like the only thing I get to cast regularly, and I miss it.
Yeah, they didn't they come out with information on that? Are you confirmed casting that yet, or are we allowed to talk about that?
No, I mean, now I sound a bit out myself, but usually I get to do it, so I'm going on the assumption that they still love me.
Yeah, dude, you may gotta bro it up. Throw that down and teach them how it's done.
Well, we're an Archon, so usually that's how it goes down. But we get a second slot for WCS now. It's not just one qualifying space, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some good stuff out of Aegis. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Big thank you to Shiny Elite for that Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciated. Reaper hops into the main and will not escape the death clutches of that Adept, but he gets a pretty good scout once again. But Bunny has a very unconventional push coming. This isn't a medevac with Widow Mines. This is a Cyclone with a lot of Marines.
Yeah, at least Cyclone pushes have been giving people quite a bit of grief lately, especially if they haven't been prepared for it. Now, this isn't the most deadly one there is, obviously, but it is hard to deal with. And look, Zest doesn't have a lot. He has an overcharge, but you can keep being annoying with this if you want to. There's only like a handful of stalkers. Looks like Bunny is happy with that overcharge. They're going to bow out for now, head back home.
The bunny goes bow wow? That's what I heard.
What? Bow out.
I know, but
oh my god.
It's like that broken children's toy. The cow goes arf, arf.
Get it together, mate. Oh my god.
Yeah, 7 a.m. is making me delirious. That's my bad.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. for me, so I'm on the same page. Don't worry.
I guess one of the things, Bunny did have some pretty good eyes last game. He picked off that observer pretty easily. This time it's a little bit harder to see the ones that are standing still. But the third CC is finishing up in just a moment, so he's going to have plenty of scans, and of course the third base. Blink finishes up shortly here for Zest, and looks like, unfortunately, that medevac was primarily just for scouting. Just didn't come loaded with Widow Mines or anything. So just kind of dipped in, didn't get to see much, and had to leave pretty quick. Did not see the Robo, which is important, though. The knowledge that Colossus or even potentially Disruptors are coming up would be good to have. Liberator might get to see this. No, the Stalker's waiting to push that back, too.
Yeah, it would be good confirmation to get that actually, but in the absence of that information, it's kind of like, well, what has he done the last few games? Corsair, it's probably going to be that. So I don't think he'd be too scared of that, especially if he scouts that third base. In fact, has he? Yeah, he has. So he knows that there's a bit more macro to come before anything too magical happens from Zest. And Bunny himself is going to head towards taking that third command center, getting rid of these stalkers, and moving into that mid-game army.
I mean, the Colossus coming out quick would normally scare me, I think, if we're looking at a lot of other TVPs, but like the funny thing is, Zest Colossus, I don't think have been the big impacts in a lot of these games so far. Like they've forced the games to go in certain directions, get Vikings out and all that. But his Blink Stalker control and his adepts, and most importantly, some of the way he's been using his sentries have really stood out to me. So the Colossus are kind of almost like the background dancers to his solo performance.
Background dancers.
They are the dudes with the six-pack dancing behind Britney Spears.
Ooh, nice.
Yo, totally unrelated. How weird is it, like, that of all the crazy celebrities, Britney Spears ends up being, like, the best mom of all time? Have you seen, like, some of her tweets?
No, I haven't. I don't follow her on Twitter, should I?
You should, because she's a dude, like, she dressed her kid up as, like, Frieza for Dragon Ball Z for, like, Halloween and stuff, and, like, she, like, really takes care of her kids and stuff. I had heard nothing about Britney Spears since I was, like, maybe a teenager. And
Really?
like just that she had like all this drama and she was crazy. Now she's like apparently like a super amazing mom.
Yeah, she's a pretty good human. She still makes songs and stuff.
Does she actually still make music? I don't even know that
Yes,
much.
she just had like a song or an album or something come out. God, your Britney game is not on point.
I know. I should know better than following her Twitter, right? Like,
My goodness.
actually, it's weird like the way all the I guess that era of TV, right? You had MTV pushing all the music videos. You had the kids stars and like Disney and stuff. Like they all grew up and went so many weird directions. So very few of them turned out like what appears to be normal.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked to be in that position to begin with, like mad fame, and then like have people like put a microscope on your life that whole time.
Well,
it would make you a little weird.
Well, I wonder how that's going to affect some of these Korean kids. Like, can you imagine Jaedong as kids? Like, is that going to be weird for his kids? Like, your dad was this famous, amazing StarCraft player who, like, ruled the day in Brood War and was great at StarCraft 2 as well.
And his kids just think he's like a lame dad or something.
Like, yeah, quit playing video games. Get on the hollow phone or something. I don't know. Future technology. Future technology, right? get on your iPad 17 already. Now, this is kind of interesting. Bunny invested in quite a few Cyclones, so I've just been kind of meandering and talking about not much, but I thought he was going and gearing up for some big attack in the front. Instead, the Cyclones are just kind of escorted with these drops a bit awkwardly while he splits up in 3 smaller segments. And I think what's worrisome about this is Bunny's army, I don't think is going to be good enough to fight Zest in these smaller segments. I think altogether, he could take a great fight versus Zest, but splitting like this might be weakening his army too much.
True. It depends what you can get done with this split, because Zest is really good position when you engage him. I think he just got another medevac.
And that was the one full of units too. Watch that supply drop. But yeah, Bunny's still sitting on 106 army supply. He's got weapon upgrades. It's not looking too bad out of him. Thank you, Alis, by the way, for the 2-year resub. Ace 1, Ace 2 TV. Yeah.
Bit of a scan going off on that third base, trying to find out where the Protosian is situated at the moment. He's kind of between the bases. The Marine does scout that out, sees what the composition is, sees how much stuff he has generally. If you clicked on those units, you'll also see that the 2-2 hasn't come in yet, whereas Bunny's +2 attack is about to finish, +1 ship weapons about to come into play too. So this is actually a nice time to push. Can he get the engagement he wants? He's got a concave here. Tanks aren't sieged up.
There's the Liberator setting up though, and the Colossus have to back away. This gives way for the Marauders to give chase, but he doesn't want to go up that hill. He doesn't have proper vision of it just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to press the issue there. And
this sucks losing the tanks.
Forfeit.
Yeah, those were a lot of extra damage to bring to the fight. The Marauders also kind of abandoned. There's not enough medevacs to get them out of there alive. They can trade up with the Stalkers, maybe, but this sucks leaving so many of these units behind. Marauders are huge in TVP. This was in favor of Cyclones too, which I don't actually know. Like, Cyclones and their change are still fairly new. I don't know if it was worth saving the Cyclones over the Marauders.
I don't know, but he's gonna have to make it work now as he heads into this 4th base, tries to take that down. Zest came all the way over the other side of the map and did some kind of damage and then left. And Bunny, looks like he got the better end of the trade here. I mean, he's still got 4 bases alive and operating, so that's a good start. Liberators are still sieged up here as well, and he's able to do quite a bit of damage to his Stalkers. They're melting a little bit, and he just picks up and goes into the not main. Sits in the airspace.
I gotta give it to Zest. Like, he's actually really good at picking off these medevacs. This has been like the 4th one sniped this game full of units. But you're right, like on the other side of the map, I think Bunny definitely got the better end of that trade. Zest was stopped dead in his tracks by the defensive Liberators. He didn't bring enough Stalkers with him, so a little bit awkward over there. But he still ultimately is like, I think a little bit better in terms of tech. He's coming up on that 3-3, reestablishing that 4th. I don't think it's too difficult for him to do at all. And Bunny's the one who's, once again, splitting his forces across the map. If he actually splits like this and Zest goes for like that full attack too, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he certainly is. But, you know, at the same time, he could distract him, you know, take his attention elsewhere if he's all split up. He's looking for another base and seems somewhat surprised not to find one there because he stimmed and just decided, okay, I guess I'll go into the natural then. Maybe he can snipe off a Forge here. That would be really good.
Oh, he gets the armor one too. Gets both of the Forges. That's really nice.
Can he get the Templar Archives or something else of value? And he doesn't look like he's going to have to just kite back and take out whatever he can.
But while this goes on, he actually finds a prime position to deny this 4th base. Gotta cancel, gotta cancel, gotta cancel. No cancel out of Zest. Liberator set up on that ramp. We got Vikings ready to go. This is not a position Bunny wants to stay in, but it's a position he could certainly still take an engagement from. Guardian Shield goes up. Vikings gonna do what they can. First Colossus does get focused down, but there's so many Stalkers. I don't think Bunny's anti-air is gonna cut it. Although, walking through the Vikings, they fear nothing.
Yeah, 2 Colossi go down, but there's still 4 left. Still 4 Immortals and a decent chunk of Stalkers as well. Bunny runs back to his base to regroup. Does he actually have enough to hold this off, or is Zest going to even this up? Because there's not a lot here. He's going to have to try and snipe a couple Colossi. The 4th base is forced to live, or 3rd base rather. In fact, he loses it altogether, so he gets revenge for that base he lost earlier.
I mean, the SUVs are kind of pulled, but I don't feel like this was him intentionally pulling the boys. This was just pulling them back on the base, trying to keep them alive. The Planetary is actually going to hold pretty well to the north. I don't think he has to worry about that too much, but he really needs to get that base back down. Losing that 4th base sucks. Main's almost mined out, so he might just lift this and move it over instead of trying to get a new command center down, but Bunny behind in supply by a fairly considerable amount.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hard to engage this now, I think. The Colossi count, yeah, he lost like 2, but losing 2 isn't so bad for Zest because he's still got 4, which has always been sort of the money number for Colossi. And what Bunny has left is mostly Marines. There are a good chunk of Marauders in there, but with the amount of Immortals that are out, I don't know. With the right targeting, they can take a lot of damage, and oh man, you just can't catch a break here.
Zest with these blinks. I mean, what's really important for those who aren't, I guess, used to getting sniped like this, he's keeping the Stalkers back on purpose. He wants the medevac to come just a little bit too close so he can make sure to one-shot it down. I mean, his precision with this hasn't been luck. This hasn't been him just like, oh, Bunny wasn't paying attention, I got a medevac. This has actually been entirely Zest orchestrating all these snipes.
Yeah, oh, that poor CV gets ruined. And then he comes stimming forward, trying to get rid of some of these Stalkers. Really, it's just a battle for territory at the moment as Bunny reestablishes this base to the north this time. But it's going to be hard to engage this army of Zest. Zest is maxed out. He's ready to rock and roll, and Bunny is forced to pull SCVs.
But they get shredded into the Archon Colossus grinder. Vikings might take out the Colossus, but the ground army still looking strong. So many Archons, so many Immortals pushing through this. Bunny's army supply dropping and fast. The last Colossus not even going to go down. 2 of them still stand, and this army out of Bunny is stuck around this very awkward pillar.
He's doing a great job at sniping what he can from this army, but at the end of the day, he's lost 44 workers, I think it is. And this base is going to go down again. That leaves him on 2 CCs. I think Bunny's going to have to tap out here. The supply tells the story, really. 77 to 165. GG. Zest takes it to a game 3.
Good guy Zest giving us another ace match, making this the longer of the two casts by pretty far margins, but I guess this evens out, one long day, one short day.
Yes.
Either way, we're just going to cut to a commercial break so we can get it out of the way ASAP. We'll find out what what map Bunny wants for the final game. I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, folks, we are back, and we're getting into game number 3. It's all aced up now, tied 1-1. Both players have qualified through for the main event, so I think either of them are too worried about that. But there's a massive prize pool on the line right now. $50 whole. That's like...
It's like 50 cheeseburgers.
A cheeseburger's only $1 in Australia?
If they're on special.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But also...
Actually, I'm not sure if that's the thing anymore, but I wish it was, if it's not.
I feel like cheeseburgers would not be the priority of what these guys would spend it on, to be honest.
Yeah. You're right. I would probably spend it on sushi.
A sushi.
No, like all the sushi.
I'd spend on a sushi. I'd have like one, just one, not a whole roll.
I have one sushi.
It's like those Lay's chips. But okay, let's get these introductions done. Our brains are gone as it's getting super crazy here in the finals. Map 3, bottom side. The light blue, the teal Zest.
And in the north, he is Bunny.
Okay, so I gotta say, even for a game that this guy just lost, Bunny didn't play that too badly. I think, truth be told, map hurt him more than anything else, and that may have been specifically part of why Zest chose it. But this map was Bunny's choice. This map was Bunny saying, I want to play on, well, I said Bonnie Research Station, but I assumed he meant Bonnie Research Station. So either way, this is the map he wanted.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes on this one. Pretty straightforward for pushing, good airspace around the sides for sneaking drops. And Bunny has been banking quite a bit on his drop harass, whether it's mines or marines or, 2 at once, 3 at once. That seems to be the way he wants to play this more than a head-on engagement, because I don't know, I just feel like those against Zest are just so scary. You don't want to do it. Even with good EMPs, you're really pressing your luck there because Zest is just so superior with his army positioning. But yeah, we'll see what this game ends up looking like.
Got some people coming in chat asking about Nation Wars, by the way. I'm happy to inform you guys. Zombie Grub is representing, and she's casting over there. That's going to be in like 2 hours or something from now, I believe. We got groups playing that today, but that's going to be not on BaseTradeTV at all. That's the O Gaming stuff, so you'll have to keep an eye on Team Liquid or the Twitch listings for that when it comes live. Yesterday it was easy to send people off to it because, of course, it was same time as us, which was, again, my bad. Oops. But yeah, that'll be on later today. You guys can certainly enjoy that. Yeah, see, look, chat bringing this up too. Where can I get those $1 cheeseburgers? I'm telling you, she's making it up.
I swear, no, like, because sometimes they have $1 hash browns, and then sometimes they have like $1 like small chips or something like that. I don't know. I swear $1 cheeseburger used to be a thing. Maybe I'm thinking of years ago now, but.
Actually, so when I was in Korea, one of the big things I took note of was how amazingly cheap the food was there. Like it wasn't like bad quality food. Like you go to a nice restaurant and you get like a full meal for like $6. I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal. Cool. So you might be able to find your cheeseburgers in Korea if we looked hard enough. Thank you to Helpless Hippo. Oh no, how can we help? Twitch Prime sub hype. What am I in? Waltzes down here to the 3rd. It's going to be a little bit annoying to deny the base, but observers are usually out for Protoss, and I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. I guess it's a bit interesting, though, because Bunny is going straight to a fusion core, and he's going to be going for a bit of an old build. The funny thing is this is the Bunny build, but this is like the European Bunny build, is what it was called back in the day, where you go for really, really fast Liberator range. And on some maps, I guess you could wrap around the backside, and even if you had Stalkers or Queens or Spore Crawlers, you couldn't quite reach. And that looks to be what he's aiming for here, as there's quite a bit of space you can hang back on, but I don't think this is unreachably far back. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of thought you didn't have enough airspace to do it. Maybe if you get between like that natural and main area, there's a little more room to move. But yeah, I'm keen to see. him use this. It's always juicy to watch Liberators zap probes repeatedly. But yeah, we'll see if it works out because Zest has been really, really good with his defense. Especially more so in the early game than later on when it gets trickier.
Well, especially with against
But
drops. But that might be why he does this, right? Because he doesn't want to
exactly,
deal
yeah.
with drops.
Yeah. And
I want to see if this works. I got my fingers crossed. Maybe it'll be really cool. Maybe it will be just the map and a bit of a fluke. Either way, thank you to Cretianos for the Twitch Prime sub. Also, ALS asking in chat, can we donate to the prize pool? For today's tournament, the answer to that is no. This is just like a for fun, like once-off thing. This is a qualifier to a fairly large main event, so don't worry about that. If you do want to contribute anything anywhere, though, please consider checking out our fundraiser, guys. !mega in chat. Go watch the video for some information. Read the description on the page, and consider helping us out. Make a really big, awesome thing. But two Liberators setting off on separate sides. I can see a little bit. I can see some wiggle room down here to the natural base, but the main was the one that really had me wondering, would there be enough space? And it looks like there might just be. Sets up in quite the annoying position.
nice. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a bother to deal with. Oh, guess what? Surprise.
He doesn't have a Stargate. There's actually no way he can deal with this.
God, that's so annoying. Oh, poor Zest. I feel for him right now.
So Zest starts up a Stargate. He knows what he needs to do, but he's losing so much mining in the process, and he knows like the time it takes to build that Stargate and to get the Phoenix or hell even the Void Ray out in time. That's going to be literally thousands of lost minerals over 2.5, 3 minutes. Look at this. His income literally plummets. Bunny's skyrockets.
Yeah. Look, he's doing the right thing though. Let's not forget he has a third base up and running and he's taking a fourth. So while it's not ideal, he does have one place that he can mine freely. For the moment, there is another Liberator about to set up shop at the third base.
Oh, gosh.
And he also pokes out with what other units he has on the ground to see if there's any weakness here from Bunny. The answer is no, there's not though, because he does have siege tanks and bio situated in his main, ready to rock and roll. So he's just gonna wait it out.
I like the Void Ray. It's going to shred it to bits. This is something that could not have possibly worked for Bunny if Zest had done any sort of proxy Stargate or regular Stargate build. But this certainly is costing him a lot of money. We also had a new sub come in. Thank you to Akajun, a.k.a. Jun, or a.k.a. June. Either way, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. It is certainly appreciated. I mean, Zest tried to do some interesting things. Like he's mining specifically on a couple of the mineral patches nearby without completely abandoning ships. So he still has some income going for him. But this is now almost the 3-minute mark that Bunny's been denying significant amounts of mining for. Void Ray cleans up one, then have to fly all the way back and clean up the other. I mean, this is just a painful process to get back to mining.
Yeah, I mean, look at the income advantage graph. It's a nice time for it.
Yeah, this was in no doubt in my mind better than those drops were. And it was a lot less costly to Bunny as well.
Yeah.
While this went on, like he got his +1 weapons. His bio's now pushing with these tanks. Oh my gosh, Zeph, this is bad.
And the other thing is when you do like drop play nonstop and then you throw them a curveball, that's not what they're expecting. So I think this push can do a hell of a lot of damage to our friend Zest over here. That's a lot of units.
Oh, the tanks are going to siege up too. That's a lot of damage coming down. Let's not forget 70 a shot on top of the Colossus. It's immediately pushed back. The Stalkers are shredded. And you know, the Marauders are stuck behind the force field, but all that really does is keep them alive to protect the tanks even longer.
Yeah, he's going to stim in here, get that extra base that Zest so cleverly took, but is unfortunately unable to defend. And Zest is forced back towards his natural. He's got 2 Colossi, a very damaged Stalker, 2 Sentries, like this ragtag crew of units to defend against what Bunny actually has out on the map, which is a lot more. In fact, it's actually about like 30 supply more, so Zest is super in trouble.
It's not just 30 supply, though. It's like 30 really effective supply. There's Marauders, there's Widow Mines, there's Siege Tanks. There's everything here that you want to kill armored units, and that's all Zest really has. There's no charge lots in this. There's no Archons ready to go. Hell, even Immortals aren't even part of the equation. It's a Void Ray, 6 Stalkers, and 2 Colossus. I think if Bunny had a better idea of just how far ahead he is, he would not be pulling back like this. He would be pushing full throttle and going for the win. But the longer he gives Zest time to warp in additional units, to build more things, to get the Templar Archives up, to build Archons, like, the worse this gets. Bunny sitting still and not attacking is actually the worst mistake he's made this game.
Yeah, he's a little afraid, and I can't completely blame him, but he's still going to try and make something happen. He's loaded up 4 medevacs just now, full of units. He's actually not going to see the clump of units of Zest or those stalkers unless they cross paths, but he's actually
Even if
left
they
the
do.
Colossi naked there, as the medevacs are actually going to sort of intercept that. No? Okay, they're just going to go straight into the natural, where there is nothing but a mothership core to defend with.
And the overcharge just go off. I mean, these Widow Mines are going to be able to just root themselves wherever and stop reinforcements from coming in. This siege tank sets up and can shoot everything from so far away. The Bioforce is numerous. He's pushed back a little bit on the left side, but Bunny's left side is a distraction at best because Zest still cannot deal with what's going on in the natural.
Yeah, he's actually going to lose that Nexus by the looks of it. There's nothing that Zest can really do. In fact, the Colossus is just going to watch it happen.
He's a silent
The rest of the
watcher.
units- yeah, it's just sort of crying a little bit. It doesn't know what to do. And the rest of the units are going to go for a counter push here. It's probably the best option, but it's too much. GG.
GG. Bunny with the bunny build. I love it. This was so meta. This was Korean bunny using European bunny strategies. But he takes the series 2-1, not only defeating somebody like Zest, but also earning $50 in the process. So that's really great on him. Congratulations, Bunny. I'll have to actually talk to him. I have to get his payment info. I don't have his payment info. So first money's out of BaseTradeTV. Yay!
Ooh, congrats, Bunny. So that's pretty cool. We've got Zest, Bunny, Innovation, and Scarlet qualified for the final bracket. There will be 4 more invited players, and we'll figure out who's going to flesh out that round of 8. Going to be looking at the dudes that put on a really good performance but didn't quite make it. People like Sue.
By the way,
Yes?
we had given this tournament name like the Zeph Cup as like a placeholder until I came up with something else. Obviously, still making Korea great was such an amazingly better option. We had to go with it. But I'm gonna give you the pleasure, the honor, and the courtesy to think about who you want invited back, Zeph. We'll make the finals your
Okay.
thing, your round of 8. So you don't have to do it now, but before the 30th, well, sooner the better, so we can invite them. But we'll let you figure out who you want invited back for that round of 8. That'll be my gift, my Christmas gift to you, whatever players you want. But
Alright.
we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll come back and say our goodbyes. Thank you guys so much for watching. 5.5K people in the finals was awesome. I'll see you soon. All right, folks, thank you very much kindly for watching that last commercial break of the day. But as stated before, we are done. So I'm going to give Zeph a moment here to say her goodbyes. And if you guys want to learn more about her, where to find her, all that good stuff. But before I do, I would like to once again just urge that you guys type !mega in chat. You check out the Matcherino page. Even if you have no intentions to donate, you don't care about helping BaseTradeTV, you should at least learn what our goals are, because you might be interested in watching how things progress over the next year, even if you can't or won't support it financially. So please do check out the Matcherino fundraiser page. Hopefully, if you've got any questions, you'll leave them on our YouTube, because we'll be answering any questions people have on YouTube. Just leave a comment down below and all that good stuff. But I really want to make some awesome stuff happen, and with your guys' help, we can certainly make that a thing. But that being said, Zeph, if people enjoyed your casting, if they like you, where can they find more about you?
So, you can follow me on Twitter at ZephSV2. That is where I will tweet about things I am casting. A lot of Oceanic Sea region type stuff, occasionally a Korean thing like this if I'm lucky. And the WCS seasons for that region, Oceanic and Sea, that is, will be tweeted out there most likely as well. So you can follow there if you like. Big thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. That is a lot of you for a very sort of last minute for fun tournament. So
I know that we
thanks,
scheduled
guys.
poorly, apparently.
Yeah.
I had to talk with Zombie Group about it. She's like, "Did you just think the time was gonna be different?" I'm like, "No, I just didn't check. Like, oh, my bad." Like, twiddling my fingers, like. Yeah, Zeph's an absolutely fantastic person. You should follow her and all that good stuff. For me, follow the channel. Come back for all the casts we do in StarCraft. We're almost at 70,000 followers now, which is really cool. You follow me on Twitter at ref_kings. Fair warning, I do a lot of shit posts in there, so you might be better off following BaseTradeTV. It's really up to you what content you want to receive. Last but not least, check out our YouTube. VODs for this will be up ASAP. Yesterday, VODs were up, like, I think 17 hours after the broadcast. Joey was really quick to get those up. He's been phenomenal at doing YouTube stuff. So make sure to check out our YouTube for any games you miss. But that is pretty much it. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know who we're going to host, but we'll find somebody awesome. Crazy Man with some last minute bits on the stream says thanks for the stream today. Thank you for the cheers, my friend. But have a good day, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for Make Korea Great Again. Good night and goodbye.